Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel. And in this video, we're going to install RisiOS. RisiOS is a Washington state-based, or I should say it's a Linux distribution based on Fedora. And I believe their home state is Washington State. So we're going to go through the installation of that and I want you to see the full installation process, because we're going to install it. We'll reboot, we'll add a user, reboot, and then install a bunch of codecs and stuff like that, enable a bunch of them that are right there, and all it requires is one single click. Okay, so we're on the desktop now. This is the MT7010, and I'm running Wayland, and it says this is an experiment Wayland support. For full featured support, log out and start the X11 service. So I made sure that I was online, or I got myself online, and then we'll look and see, make sure the disk is listed here. It's SDA, 400, showing as 465 gigs. So I downloaded and installed Voco Screen. A simple screen recorder was not available yet on the live ISO, but Voco Screen NG is. So that's what I installed, and that's what I'm using. Okay, so the first option you'll have is what language do you want to use during the installation process. Scroll down till you find yours. Time was set right there, Chicago. I'm going to select custom installation. I'm also going to select standard partitioning. And the first partition will be the boot EFI. I'm going to give it 1 gig. Numlock was not on by default, so I had to turn it on. 1 capital G, add the mount point. All right, it's going to reformat it. Now the next one will be root partition, or Windows users would call it a C drive. I'm going to give it 101 capital G, add the mount point. The next one now we're going to set up is swap. And I'm going to give it 8 gigabytes of swap. And it does use and set up ZRAM. So when I got through, I had a total of 16 gigabytes of swap space, I guess. We're going to give all the rest of it to the home directory, which would be a D drive in Windows. Once you make sure all your partitions are correct, you're going to click the Done button, and it'll give us a summary of what it's going to do. And when you're satisfied, say Accept Changes, and we're good to go. Let's begin the installation. All right. So the first thing it does is it partitions and formats the disk, mounts the disk in their appropriate places, and then it starts installing software. So right now it's creating the ext4 on SDA4, which is the home partition. It's already set up the other ones. And because that one's 300 something gigs, take it a second. Installing software, it mounted the disk. So I'm going to pass or skip forward through this a little bit. Quite a bit, really. The whole install only took about 10 minutes. It took about 12 minutes, but that's because I had to go online and connect to Wi-Fi and then download Voco Screen and then get that going. But altogether, it took about 13 minutes, probably, start to finish. You'll be getting close. Okay, so it's finished, and I'm gonna just close that out, and then I'm gonna insert a USB drive and create a folder in there called RisiOS, and that's where I'm going to save this video file to. So you can see it's right there, bottom left of that open window, FAT32. And you're installed. So we're going to reboot as soon as this is through here. When you reboot, remove your ISO. This is going to be your first screen that you're going to see. It's a welcome to RisiOS38, and it's the start setup. So That'll be the first screen you get after your reboot. I'm going to turn location services off. I'm going to leave on automatic problem reporting. I'm going to skip Google and Nextcloud, etc. I'm going to give it a name. I mean, this is our user account right now. Click next. I'm going to give it a good password. This is in a virtual box, this part of it right here. Now, when I come back, this is now on the hard drive. I couldn't show that. And you see, we're still getting that warning because I forgot to change it to X11, but I'm going to. So this is Risi welcome screen. Welcome to RisiOS38, the cure. And this is going to give you the option to install all sorts of programs. Set up RPM Fusion, proprietary codecs, FlatHub, and also I'm going to select the enable fastest downloads true. That's a nice little tweak right there. Otherwise, you'd have to go into that configuration file and do it yourself. All right, this is web browsers. I'm going to select Firefox and Chromium. I like to have two. All right, so if you made it this far, you probably don't need a driver, but if you do, these are your available options. All right, categories, additional programs, audio. We got Gnome Music, Lollipop, Rhythm Box, Music Brains, Sound Converter, and Sound Juicer for ripping CDs. I'm going to try that Easy Effects and see what that does. Next category, audio production. This is awesome. This is a great install script. They've really done a good job here. Now, if you was a gamer, you'd probably want well, I don't know about all of it, but you'd want a bunch of it. Some of it anyway. Whatever you need, it looks like it's available. I'm not a gamer, but some of those I've never even seen. So here I'm going to get GIMP, Krita, and Inkscape, which is 3 that I normally get. Under video production, I'm going to skip over Kdenlive because I'm not sure it will install it as a Flatpak or a repository or a binary package. OBS, Handbrake, Shotcut, and that's it. All right, give it a password. And again, this is on the MT7010. Now, if you notice right there, it says View Installation. If you click on that, you'll get to see everything it's doing. And I was late getting to it. I should have clicked on that first before I started doing any of this other stuff, but I didn't. But eventually I will click on it here where it says View Installation, and it'll show you what it's doing as it's running through the scripts or whatever. There's the video that Foco screen is recording. All right. I think I'm fixing to click on it. Yep. So now you can get an opportunity to see every single thing that it's doing. Installed FFmpeg, X11 libraries. I mean, just all kind of stuff. Plus the software that we asked for, or you might ask for. So again, I'm going to skip forward past this a little bit. Now we're downloading all the software. 334 total. I'm making myself a note in case I forget. We'll reboot after this. Could cut that out and you wouldn't even have known I was that silly. So it's downloading them, it's checking them, running tests, transaction tests. Now I wanted this note, and I'm going to change to X11. Foco screen is not the only thing you'll get this warning about. Simple screen recorders the same way. Those are the 2 that I know for sure about. It uses ZSH, So if you're going to set up an alias, set it up in .zshrc. Control H on the keyboard shows hidden files, which are the dot files. We'll skip forward. We're installing. I had no idea how I even got to that. I'm going to look it up again though. I'm setting up a key binding so that I can press Control Alt T and open up the Gnome terminal. That did not come in by default. That's not a default setting. So I'm going to click Add. Now I'm going to hit Control Alt T and there's the terminal. Nice. That's called RisiFetch. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward a little bit. You don't need to see all the tweaking and stuff I did. So it's finally finished here, and I'm going to say reboot later, and I'm going to save the video. Turn Voco screen off, save the video, and reboot. Okay, so I rebooted. I'm now on that machine, the MT7010, and I'll go over more on the specs of the machine and the software that I've installed in part 2, the follow-up. But I wanted you to see just, first of all, the installation is not hard. If you're not afraid of the Anaconda installer, and even if you are, and you get to the partitioning, and I'm not sure how to handle that, there is an option to select automatic partitioning. So it will just set that up for you. So if you're afraid of it, try it and just do the automatic partitioning and do your name and all that stuff that you just saw us do. And, at least get a feel of it and see how they bust it up. And then compare that to what you want to make it. And then the next time you'll be able to do the installer and create your own partitions in their sizes. Okay, well, I encourage you to try RisiOS. They just came out with this new release. This is RisiOS38, I believe. And, this project belongs to a guy he goes by the handle Pizza Loving Nerd. And I've watched him since I've been a YouTuber and a Linux user. Just grow up in front of everybody's eyes, and he's now a developer, and I think he needs all the support that y'all can give him. If nothing else, download the ISO and put it in Qubit torrent or another torrent handler, and let people get the ISO from you. That would help them spread the word. If you can't donate or buy a T-shirt or whatever, they do have T-shirts for sale if you want one. And I did get one. I told him I couldn't do much, but I could at least buy a T-shirt. And I hope to be sporting that by the time I do the follow-up video. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Peace out. Be kind to each other. Be nice to yourself. Bye.